that I just mentioned now. You have other indigenous people, and what we are trying to do, the agitators now, is going back to our roots. We are going back to our roots. Our root is, first of all, you have to recognize that in 1954, when we were booming, enjoying our life, in 1954, you don't have anything like South, South, and Southeast. What we have is Eastern region. And that is where we are going back today. Now, let me continue reading. The region has third, fourth, fifth largest indigenous ethnic group, including Igbo, Ijaw, and Ibibio. It was what later became Biafra. Are you hearing that? This thing I just mentioned now is what later became Biafra. It later became Biafra, which was in rebellion from 1967 to 1970. And like I told you before, after the war, of course, you don't start dividing Nigeria or dividing Eastern Nigeria in 1967, because it was never effective. Even though a lot of people ignorantly from Biafra land fought against Biafra. Ignorantly. They fought against Biafra ignorantly, because the Nigeria government then divided in 1967 this eastern region of Nigeria into three. And this was during the war, for you to know what is going on. And then, of course, this division come into force legitimately from 1970. That is after the war. So now listen. It may also shock you that this eastern region was government of its own in 1954. And it was an autonomized community or autonomized government, administrative in 1954. The day was in October 1st, 1954, and was dissolved in 27th May 1967. That was during the war. When the war started, they dissolved it. Now, listen to this. This same Ijaw, Igbo, Ibibio, and any other ethnic group that made up Eastern region that is called Biafra. Biafra, which comprises Delta State, because I am coming here to talk about Delta. So, which comprises Delta State that you see today. Biafra. It later became Biafra. And the government type we had in Eastern region, we had a parliamentary republic. And we have what we called the Eastern Nigeria government. Governor then was Akanu Ibiam from Ebonyi State. Akanu Ibiam from Ebonyi State was the governor, and the premier was Michael Okpara. The Michael Okpara Square you see today in Enugu State was as a result of his contribution in this whole project. And you have what we call the legislature. The legislature is a bicameral structure which comprises of House of Chiefs and House of Assembly. And as I'm talking to you, all these things I'm saying, Delta State, Ijaw land was part of Biafra. The Ibibio people was part of Biafra. This is a history. This is fact. Those of you who come in this century to say, when we talk about Delta State, Biafra land, you must not attack Delta State, Fulani must leave Delta State, Delta is a Biafra land, you will come from nowhere because you don't know your history. You come from nowhere to begin to shout Delta is not Biafra. If you have any history that is better or contradictory or contradicting what I am telling you now, go and bring it, and I challenge you anywhere. This is the history of Nigeria. This is the history of the eastern region of Nigeria, which is Biafra. This is the history of Biafra that a lot of you don't know. And I'm telling you today, you share this video to all those people from Delta State and every other place from the so-called Niger Delta or whatever, for them to know their history, because they don't know. These people maliciously remove this thing from Nigeria educational curriculum for a purpose that I am here now talking about it. For a purpose so that by the time we re-strategize on this struggle for disintegration of Nigeria, which they envisaged that it will come, which they envisaged that they will never escape, so that by the time this time comes, we will waste our time to shout and talk sense to people who don't know their history. And it is happening because I'm using my time to talk to you today. Now, when they tell you today, in 2020, the people from the northern part of Nigeria will tell you, you don't have land to become a Biafra state. You don't have land to be independent. You don't have land. You have small land. You don't. And when they are telling you this whole thing, you will be looking at Enugu State, Ebonyi State, Abia State, Imo State, and what have you. And they will say you don't have land. Listen, the total area of Biafra land in 1967 and from 1954 to 1967, the total area of what made up Eastern region, what made up Biafra, was 76,145.65 kilometers square, or square kilometer. That was the total area, and it is still the same total area. I don't know whether you can increase the land. You cannot increase the land. You cannot increase the space in the land. And that is also 29,400 square meter. And not only that, the population of Biafra as at 1965, the population of Biafra. Now you see how I am transiting from Eastern region to Biafra. So when you hear me saying Biafra, it means that the Biafra I'm talking about now is what you have today, south, southeast, which comprises of Ijo, Ibibio, and Igbo. And then other ethnic group within this region. So when you hear me saying Biafra, now I have transited from Eastern region of Nigeria to what we call Biafra. According to the history, I'm not the one making it up. Now, so when you hear Biafra, I am talking to you, Ijo. When you hear me say Biafra, I am talking to you, Ibibio. When you hear me Biafra, I am talking to you, Calabar people. When you hear me say Biafra, I am talking to you, River State people. When you hear me say Biafra, I am talking to you, Delta people who are coming on my page to say Delta is not Biafra. So you can see I have transited now. I will not be talking Eastern Nigeria again. But of course, I will continue to mention Eastern Nigeria so that, because a lot of you, it will take time for you to understand the brain behind this. So I will be mentioning Biafra and Eastern Nigeria. But now I have transited now from the Eastern Nigeria to Biafra. So now, Biafra population, which is Eastern region, as at 1965, was 12 million people. 12 million in 1965. And this 12 million was having their own government, regional government. The government was doing very fine, very well, and there were only 12 million people. Now, it will also shock you, because this is what I have come to tell you this evening. The geography of what we call Biafra, which is the eastern Nigeria. Listen to the story and the narrative of what made up the geography of Biafra. The geography of Biafra. The eastern region of Nigeria was geographically located in southeastern Nigeria. It is bordered by Niger River. Niger River in the west and has an administrative and cultural border with the northern region of Nigeria. To the north, our border is up to the northern region of Nigeria. Listen, it is not Simon Ekpa that made this. It is a history that you don't know. Now, it bordered the northern Nigeria. The eastern boundary lies between the border of Nigeria and Cameroon. It borders Cameroon. It borders the north. And when we talk about it borders Cameroon through what you call the Calabar side. You people know when the Cameroon people grabbed Nigeria land in Bakassi. It is the border of Nigeria. Now, not only this, from Afipo in Ebonyi State, you have a river that can take you up to Cameroon. Up to Cameroon. Now, listen. The eastern boundary lies between border of Nigeria and Cameroon, and the southern coast is along the Gulf of Guinea. You see that? The southern coast is along the Gulf of Guinea. The total surface area of the region was approximately 76,000 square kilometers in 1965. Now remember, I started from Eastern region and I am transiting to Biafra. I am now telling you it is not, we are not talking about southeast, we are not talking about south-south, we are not talking about Ijo, we are not talking about Ebibio, we are not talking about Efik, we are not talking about all these things, division that we people are doing today. We are talking about this is just something that happened between 1954 to 1970 or 1967. And it is not even a long time ago. So listen, pay attention attentively. The region has a population of 12 million people, and some areas such as Owerri, sorry, some areas such as Owerri. Where is Owerri located? Owerri is located in Imo State today. Imo State, where the heart of Igbo land, the heart of Biafra land, where the Fulanis think they have already succeeded in implanting